Okay, welcome back. So we're going to cover something real quick before I get into our new add-on for the $20 dust boot. If you see this cut here, it's really shoddy. See all that? And out of my ignorance, I was using this, it's supposed to be 1/32 equivalent. Okay? I call it Slim Jim. But it does not do the job correctly. So, maybe for a larger detail piece, something like that, this would be good, but I think I put some really added stress on here I didn't need to, so I may have ruined this end mill. But, as I showed earlier, I ordered these 16th inch bits. Okay? Now, you can see that 16th could do a double pass right there with no problem. See that? I mean, that's... So, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. We'll be using this from now on. This is a new one I got. It's an upcut spiral, real true 16th inch. And I'm going to try another company. So, these are about half the price of the other ones. I watched a YouTuber that uses these. This is a 2 spiral end mill. So I guess it's saying it's a double flute, 2 flute, you know. Anyway, 6.35 millimeter by 1.5 by 12, which is actually quarter by 16 by 31/64, which is not quite half an inch. So we're going to give this a whirl. As you see, I can't even read what it says, but you know, this here is half the price of these. And I've had really good luck with this company, and the bits that I get from them, and they're not expensive. So you can order the entire starter pack for around 70 bucks, okay, which is 8 bits that'll get you moving. You know, I went over them, but I'll show them real quick. You know, but yeah, I think it's 8, right? 7 and 8. Yes. So the Slim Jim came with it. But anyway, so I wanted to point that out that, you know, just pay attention to your bits. It's my loss, my mess up. This is going to be salvaged. I know somebody that wants this. I'm going to try to clean it up. Maybe just run the pass again. You know, I can zero it right here from my original zero and let this 16th run and clean it up just to see how it cuts. And we'll go from there. So, with that being out of the way, said and done, I'm going to move my bits. We have a special today. We're going to upgrade the $20 dust boot. Y'all can get a good look there if you're new. That's my $20 dust boot. It uses a shop vac tube, and it goes into my collector into my 4-inch. Okay, has 2 main mounting points right on the mast. So my router moves independently from the dust boot. My dust boot does not move. And that's why I gave it so much height here for material, where that's a 3-inch. Which I don't think it's a true 3-inch. We can put a tape on it real quick, just so you know what we're talking about here, what I'm dealing with. I don't want to speak out of context here. I'm sorry, it's 3 inches to the top. So it's got 2 inches of frills on the bottom. So I have 2 inches of clearance. Which sounds okay, but when you get 1-inch material in there, 1 inch of play is not a whole lot. You know, in specs, yeah, 1 inch is a lot, but it's not really, especially when you're cutting aluminum, which I'm getting into. But it does okay. So if you watched the last video, we did a little bit of it, aluminum. It cut good, so I'm happy about that. You know, Inventables offers aluminum to be cut, so we'll figure that out. So, as far as our new add-ons go, these are 1/2 inch, 1 watt, 3000K lights. Now, I don't know if they're going to be true 3000K, but that's a lot of light to be inside my dust boot. I want to be able to see my bit at all times. You know, it helps the videos, helps me, helps alignment. So, it says 1 watt. I don't know if that's supposed to be minimum. Anyway, there's the thing if you want to order them. Very cheap. I went ahead and I ordered controllers. If you want to see the specs right here, these will handle up to 15 watts, 110 in. So yeah, AC in, DC out, however you want to look at it. It says it's 1.25 amps. It's not going to draw that. Yeah, these only pull 1 watt. I'm sure the conversion is still converting that much power, but you know, 1.5 amps for, you know, well, they may pull 3 amps for both lights. I don't know, but it's still worth it. So we're going to give this a go. These lights are readily available. They're easy to get a hold of. I did order the same wiring that goes with those that'll go all the way back to my controllers. Everything is red and black color coded. It's going to be simple. This right here is 65 feet. Now I know it seems like a lot, but I don't know where I'm going to mount these controllers. I want to be able to, you know, control them with 110. Haven't really got into that. I'm going to pull some, maybe just run a light box, a gang box, sorry, with a switch, and wire both controllers in, or I may run one big box so I can put these, I guess it's sort of a ballast. I don't know how you want to look at it. It's like a micro ballast, basically. That's what we'll call it. And we're going to mount them. So my goal is, I haven't got the boot off yet, but I want to mount one light here that'll face inward, and I want to mount one light here that will face inward. So inward by, I mean, the lights will face down like that. And I'm just going to glue the top of them. Or they do come with these clips. I may be able to trim this clip off just to clip the top of it so it'll hold it in place. I just don't want a lot of vibration. I don't want the lights shaking. I know they are, you know, diodes that are glued in, LEDs, light emitting diode, yeah. So we're going to try that. I was going to say, I don't see the specs on this. I have specs, I probably threw it away. It was on the main wrapper, but that's 65 feet of the cable, which I'm going to have to run up, down, all the way across, possibly under my table, you know, and all the way over here and mount a switch. I haven't decided. So, I just don't want those lights all on all the time. I only want them on when it's running, so I don't want to wire them in with my overhead lights, which I have on a switch for the table, because I just don't want them burning all the time if I'm not running. I'm in here designing and stuff all the time without the machine running sometimes. Well, sometimes. And I don't want it to be on. So, I don't know the life expectancy. I didn't really get an hour rating on these lights. And that thing does not want to, there we go. So, I still want to run them no more than I have to. The light itself, it just says 1 white, 12 volt DC. Yeah, not a whole lot of information. Really small. I know it's hard to tell, but this, the OD on this is 1/2 inch. That's, for this, an industrial light, that's about as close as I could find. I was looking for something smaller. You know, I wanted to drill like maybe a 5/16 hole or something like that, but I like the big aluminum housing on these, and I like that they're available all the time. Now, that could change at any point, you know, who knows what's going on with our society, but... So that's going to be it. We're going to be using these Wago connectors. I love these things. They work good with small wire. You know, some people may frown upon that. Oh, you need to use shrink wrap, or you need to use, you know, the old connectors, but I'm not going to. So we will be using this. If I can get one open. Oh, they don't want to open. I just broke my thumb. There they go. So if you guys are unfamiliar, you know, they go up like this. These two sides are connected. They have a jumper. So if you put one wire in and you put a wire on the other side, they are together. They're not separate. So from light, you know, so let's say red positive to controller positive, you know, red positive. This right here will be in between. And these are rated to 600 volts. So I can use these on my 110, my high voltage, and my low voltage. So this is a Wago 221 connector. These are pretty inexpensive. They're like $20 a box. I know that sounds a little high, but when you get a bunch of them, it really, really pays off. And I have them all the way up to three wire. So That's as big as I have. I think they make a 4. I have the push connectors for 4s, but I don't have the snap connectors. So, and I'm going to do this because if I want to change the system at any point, I'm not having to cut off shrink wrap. All you do is pop them off under your wires, and you can, redo your system. And I will put, black electrical tape over them just to keep any dust or anything out of it. But so we're going to go from there. Anyway, sorry that was a little crooked. Wire, lights, clips, ballasts. We're going to call. They're called a light controller. Anyway, I don't care if these are waterproof. I don't, plan on getting any moisture. And that light is killing me. But it does simplify it. See, it says red is your positive. I don't know why that says red brother. Brawler. Oh, maybe it's a different language. Am I being ignorant here? Man, what is the deal? That does say brother. Red brother. Black blue. Okay, blue and low voltage. Yeah, that's pretty common. So, anyway. I was trying to see 50 to 60 hertz. That's not much. But see, these will handle all the way up to 265 volt. So that's pretty good. If you had well, not quite 277, if you had to pull one leg off of your high voltage. Anyway, but we're not going to get into that. So, let's go ahead and put my disclaimer in. This is just a suggestion. Consult an electrician. Use discrepancy. Use common sense. I'm going to go through and show you how I want to do it. I don't report to federal and all that stuff. This is just a farm thing, J&J Farms. So keep that in mind. If you have a commercial shop and you're under OSHA guidelines, follow OSHA guidelines. Okay. It was brought up to me by an engineer on one of my other videos. That I had some violations. Okay, that's good to know. And it was mainly about my cordage. But like I said, I did it the cheapest way I could, and I did not run my cords in either conduit or the metal flex. I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but so keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to get everything together. I'm going to get that dust boot pulled off, get all this tore down. We're going to get her flipped over, and I will get you back at that moment, and we're going to see how we're going to approach this, and we're going to tackle it and get some lights. So I'll catch you guys then. All right, so as you can see, that's what holds that dust boot on. I know that don't seem like much, but I have machined, see the inserts here. I don't know if you can see. They run through. I just want to show you the inside of my dust boot. Simple, okay? There ain't much going on here. Your shop vac piece comes down, causes a suction in between these brushes, and it pulls, and that's where your router goes through. So we're going to be drilling probably into here, basically a half-inch hole to light up that whole section there. Let's flip her over, and I can show you what we're dealing with here a little bit better. There we go. As you see, I have these metal pieces here. That's what the screws into. It doesn't screw into wood at all. And these go into the bottom inserts and hold, the wood. It can't strip. So you have, those go into those big heads that are on the other side. If anybody's interested, I can cover that. I have a box of them. And I've had them forever. They're just something that somebody was going to throw away at one time. I picked them up. And I just used them. I've probably had them a year or two and never used them, okay? Don't look at that. That's on the wrong side. So anyway, we're going to get our marks on here. Got my handy dandy speed square. We're going to mark them out, get them even on both sides. Get some holes drilled. I'm thinking I may drill them a little small. Maybe not a 16th, maybe, well, 16th is probably the smallest I can go, depending on my drill bits. Yeah, go from there. It's supposed to be an exact half-inch hole. I just don't know if I can trust the clips is what I'm worried about at this point. So we may take that into high consideration and you know, do that accordingly. The biggest thing is I don't want any wires to get a pinch or pinched between anything here, you know, because your mast is right here, well, on the other side of this line. I have it marked off. This is dead center. So your mast is on the other side of this line. That's what I have that marked for. And I don't want anything pinching between here, you know, a pinch point. So I think I'm going to be able to run the wire under this, no problem, run it right to my back tube, and everything will be out of the way. I'm considering even mounting my 2 controllers right there, but if I do that, I have to run high voltage, 110, all the way through to here. Well, I don't want to do that. So, now, because I had the low voltage wire. But, so back and forth, that's how it's going to work. It would have been nice, you know, because right here is a perfect empty void. I just think it's going to get dust buildup and stuff. I know the controllers are sealed. It's just an added inconvenience that I don't think I want to do. Does that make sense? So, we're going to look. You know, I may end up doing it. I may run a cord all the way across and here, because then I can just, you know, hit it right to the 110 and we're good. We're golden. I haven't decided yet. So, I'm going to get some stuff moving. I'm going to bring you guys back once I get my marks made so you can see, maybe already pre-drilled. And we're going to test fit these lights and see how they work. I'm counting on this lip right here. Ooh, come on. See this lip, the head of the light? Excuse me. Man, it is windy. Can you hear all the... The wind is crazy today. But anyway, I'm planning on that lip holding the light in the bottom. You know, on the other side of the surface. But from here to here, I believe is only 3/4, and my material is 3/4. So I don't know if this head is going to be up enough, or this end, this flare here is going to be up enough to get that little clip on there. So, enjoy, watch, we'll be right back. For you, it's going to be like a millisecond. For me, who knows? So, I'll catch you then. Alright, so one thing I didn't mention, and I think it's very pertinent that needs to be mentioned. When you order something like this, before you start this big endeavor project, I know it's brand new, but I would test your product and make sure it's not faulty. Okay? And that's what I'm getting ready to do here. So, let's zoom out. I have, it's a little bit of overkill, but it's my test. It's my pigtail, as I call it. I have my flutes on the end that go right into my connectors. Okay? High voltage coming in to, let's call it my ballast, my controller, and low voltage coming out to my light. Okay? So, test your lights. I'm getting ready to do a test right now. And we're going to see how she does. Okay? So, our goal is, yeah, we want the light to come on. Right? So, let's do that. So, I'm going to grab my plug. It's just regular 110. You guys are just going to have to bear this with me. The controller was not clear. Both wires are unmarked. Which one's positive, which is hot, and which is common, okay? So what I did, you know, like I said, common sense. It doesn't really show here on the left side. It just says input voltage. So it may not matter. But I went ahead, if you can see, right... Oh, I can't get my finger over there. This is real small, guys, so I'm trying to work here. This side says that it's positive, but I know that's for low voltage, and this side does not say, it just says input. But I went ahead and put hot and common. I don't know. What in the world is right there in the middle of my... Okay, there you go. I put, you know, hot for positive, which is... Anyway, you guys use consideration. I don't want to really say what I'm doing here because, you know, I don't want to be liable. But, you know, 110, you have your black wire, which is hot, and you have a white wire, which is common. I do not have a ground on here, okay? This is just a pigtail test lead that I'm using. This thing wadded up. I had it all spread out nice and neat so you could see it. And then, it's not live right now, so I don't want to hear the comments about... Oh, look at this crazy, woo, woo, woo. You know, don't even go there. Okay? So, there we go. I need like 3 more hands. All right, welcome back. Okay, so we made some ground here. We've got both of our holes drilled. I didn't quite have a 9/16, so I used a big bit that I had, wallered it a little bit, you know, finagled it. I pushed them in snug, and they seem to be setting really good. So I don't trust that to be enough. Oh. All right, we are back. Got some missed footage here. My battery died. I wasn't aware. Sorry about that. I'm just going to update you where I'm at here. So we drilled our holes in. Got our lights mounted flush. I didn't like the keepers. They stuck up. I thought they would be in the way. So I got some of these GB, I don't know, Romex straps, you can call them, I guess. And I just put them over one side of the light, not blocking it. So if the vibration does get to it, it can't fall out. Okay? I don't know if you see, I got light there and I got a light there. One on both sides. Ooh, there's a good angle, maybe. Okay. All right. You see both of them? Anyway, let's go back over to the top. So the lights come through. I got them out of the way. Going around, go under the Z-axis mounts. And I'm going to tape this together in here. And I got them all stranded in. It's hard to see that wire because it is black. Let's get some light on it maybe. Hold on a second here. Is that better? You can see I got it run all the way up my exhaust or my suction tube on the back. And I just taped it right to it because it's going to come up to the top of here. And then I'm just going to run it right with my router cable all the way around. And I have taped, black electrical tape this. Use good electrical tape. I'm using non-affiliated, non-sponsored, but using the Scotch professional grade Super 33 Plus. I really like this stuff. I used to use it on the job. That's why I buy it. My old boss turned me on to it, and I really like the stuff. It's good. So, as you can see, I got all my cable strung up. And my other end, which is going to be hooked into the controllers, I've already got my connectors on there. See? One light, 2 lights. Doesn't matter which one, which. Each one goes to a controller. So if you're doing this, keep this in mind. You know, each one is one controller. Try not to, you know, connect them, splice them back and forth or something. Now, I'm sure probably the way that it works, it puts out 15 watts that one controller could probably handle both of these lights. I don't know. I just don't want to get hot. So I'm going to use 2 controllers. So keep that in mind. This is my other end. I just unrolled my spool at about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet. I don't even know where my spool went. I dropped it earlier. It may be under the table. So anyway, oh, there it is. So I took about 3/4 of the spool, you know, ran a double strand of each. See, I ran two strands, 2 double strand wires all the way to the, you know, through the machine to back to the controller. This right here, I just made an easy spot to where if I need to disconnect these, yank the wires out, change them out, they're right there, and I can push the wires right back underneath there. I did wad some tape on here so that this holds that tight so this can't back out. And then I'm going to tape these up. I just didn't know how much I would need. The lights come with about 1 foot of wire, so, you know, really good. But I want to make sure these stay back here. I don't want them, you know, floating in and coming towards the router. I don't think they will, but, you know, I could probably just wrap them underneath here and save some tape. Good tape is not cheap. You guys probably already know that. Maybe able to tack them in, just like tuck them in like that, just so they don't vibrate loose and come forward. That seems to be a relevant thing. This is all just a test, you know, a test trial here. So I may end up, you know, doing it, changing it, whatever. So I don't want to make everything just completely permanent. But that right there will get everything out of the way, keep everything nice and neat, keep the wires out of any cutting range. So I'm going to get off of here, remount this, get my wasteboard is covered in junk right now. You know, everything I'm trying to use to get this done. So let me get this thing cleaned off, get this remounted, get my access up to the front of my wasteboard where we can work on it, and start getting the wire ran. So I'm just going to run it, like I said, with my router wire, my router cable that comes out of it, the power, and then run it all the way down to the bottom back there. And I would probably run it over here to right there is where I'll probably put the switch for the router. I know I hate that because everything's on the other side. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough wire. If I can, I'm going to bring it over here so I have everything on the same side for y'all that are new. Like this controls my lights. This controls my dust collector. See? Woo! Yep, there. So, maybe run it over here. I just don't want a big cluster right here where I walk all the time. I do have room right there. I can put a like 2x4 gang box. It won't be in the way. That may be what I do. We will come back to that in a minute. So right now, if you guys missed it, we did a full test. You know, tested both lights, tested the controllers to make sure everything worked before we installed. So for you guys out there that hate wires, I'm sorry. For right now, I'm going to leave it like this because I don't know exactly how it's going to work and how things are going to fit. So I'm just taking that with a grain of salt right now and just keeping everything out of the way and try to make the best of it. So, okay, I'll be back soon. All right, we are down to the moment of truth. So, if you're just tuning in, we installed some LED 3000K lights. We're wired them in. They're wired underneath in this area here. I don't know if you can see them back there. They run up the suction tube, run all the way. I wired them into my router cable. Not wired in, they're just hooked to it with zip ties. They run all the way down to there. They run all the way across to here. And whoop, there's the controllers mounted under there. And so I got them wired in with a 110 switch right here, which I put in upside down. But for now, we'll have to see how it works. All right, so let's see what she does. And oh, looky there. That's going to put out some light. I am happy with that. That is, let's kill my phone light. Just to show you there's no phone light, see? Man, I think that's going to work awesome. Let's do a little test run here. Sounds like I may have to go. It sounds like I have a delivery truck here. Turn our controller on. Put her in snail. Well, I call it snail. Next to going backwards. Alright. That is so awesome. So that is touching. Yeah, that's touching the bottom there. But sheesh, you can see, look, if I open this up, and look how bright it is in there. You know, you can see the bit. Oh, I fell. Well, that didn't work. There we go. Look, you can see, look in there. You don't have to have a flashlight. You don't have to have any of that stuff. See? I could see that from the top. That is awesome. Oh, I dropped you, sorry. But we definitely got some light in there. I was hoping they would shine a little bit out more, but the inside is lit up, and that was our goal. So just to show you, I'm not making it up. We're gonna go right here, see the lights on, see the switch, lights off. Turn the switch on, and she's on. So, I'd like to say this build was sponsored by a viewer. Thank her very, very much. I don't want to say her name on the web here, but she bought all this for me, and I'm very, very grateful. It turned out awesome. I have lights inside here. That is just phenomenal. Like, look, I don't have to have a flashlight shining in there. Let's show you what I used to look at. So it used to be, this is what I seen inside there when I was trying to film and I had to hold the flashlight all the time. I don't know if you guys really understood that, but I had to hold a flashlight all the time to see what was going on in that hole. But now, let's reach over here to flip our lights on. Now look inside the hole. That is utterly phenomenal. You can see everything. Happy, happy, happy. Whew, not to quote Phil Robertson there, but you know. Non-affiliated. Oh, I'm so, I don't know, if you don't do this, you don't know the battle, but man, every time I do a bit change or I try to zero out for a cut, you know, you're trying to hold a flashlight, you're trying to hold the recording device, you're trying to get the bit, you know, not to crash, not to hit nothing. This is a whole new world. I am so happy about this. And the wonderful thing is, look, let me grab my controller. The lights go with it, so I don't ever have to worry about, you know, I can see, look in there, go right to my product I'm cutting, wherever that may be, and say, whoop, I want to stop right there, and that's where X is. That is, oh, I mean, it's putting out a lot of light. Can you see the light coming through my brush is there? That's, oh, well, thank you very much. I hope you're watching and you see that this was an awesome success. Very happy with this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will wrap that up here. Thank you guys for tuning in to this. I'm sorry my battery died and you didn't get to see a lot of it. I'll answer any questions, take any pictures if you guys need to see anything, like maybe, you know, how the ballasts are wired up. I tried to show that sort of, you know, my wires kept getting tangled up, but all right, please comment, please like, please subscribe. Trying to do this on a budget. Oh, price. I know I'm going to get asked that. Okay, these lights were $12. The controllers were $10. And this roll, 65-foot roll of wire, was another $10. So it's a little steep. This was a $30 project, so now I guess I got to call this the $50 dust boot. But it's well worth it. If anybody knows, to have light, to not have light inside there is, well, physically day and night. So, okay, let's back up here. I had the switch. I had the gang box. I had the plate. Whenever I go to a big box store and I'm wiring stuff, I always buy extra. If I can just utterly afford it, I never buy exactly what I need. If I need 6 boxes, I buy 7. If I need 5 covers, I buy 6, you know. So keep that in mind. I wired this in with another cord. If you can see the blue one right there. I have it plugged into my kickback box, or surge protector box. So it will cost you a little bit more. But if you're like me and you have some stuff laying around, look, it don't have to be a brand new box. It don't have to be a brand new switch. You know, if you uninstalled something and had one laying around, if it's not burnt up, it's still good, still functional, you know, with discretion, try. Okay? So, thank you, thank you, thank you. Take it easy, and I will catch you on the next one. Welcome back to J&J Farms. Today we're going to talk about something a little different. Precision. So I've been getting into some cuts that require a lot of detail, and I'm sure everybody else is too. So first thing I did is I ordered a 1/4 shank 16th inch spiral upcut end mill. Okay, if you guys can see the focus there. Oh, it's hard to tell. Why is it upside down to you? That's odd. Oh, it's not. It's backwards. Okay, well, we'll go over this on the other side then. Once I get you flipped around and we do the actual coverage, we'll go over it. But if you can see there, that is a true 1/16. It doesn't want to. I mean, if you look at my finger. Anyway, this matches my tool set. So I've been using this SPE tool, speed tool. They're cheap, but I've had a lot of luck with them, no problem. So I know there's a lot of better stuff out there. Now, another part that I had to order, I ordered from Amana because it's going to be under stress. So today we're going to talk about 16th inch end mills, upcut, downcut, spiral cut, and hatch cut, and dual blade with no up or down cut. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but some 1/8 inch that I ordered, they don't do either. They're just for precision. So I ordered some that are made for doing the aluminum backs on watches and clocks. They'll go all the way down to a dime, so you can engrave on the head of a dime that size. Yeah. And I've had them for a while. This ain't a new thing. I actually ordered them on accident. The listing was wrong. Well, I didn't really do it on accident. The listing was wrong, so I ended up with 1/8 inch shank bits that I couldn't use, and I really did not have a use for them up until now. So we're going to cover that. We're going to go over it. Hope you're doing good this morning. Sit back, relax, or even whenever you're watching this. And we're going to try to go over all this. So, excuse me. Man, I got something in my throat this morning. Oh, I think it's about 30 this morning. So, yeah, little chilly. Maybe I'm getting some kickbacks from that. Sorry, I got to take a drink. Oh, okay. Coffee's still hot. All right, let's get it covered. All right. All right, to start us off today, we got some HIQ Master. These are spiral milling cutters. Like I said, these are all done in millimeters, so that's why I have a handy dandy reference chart up there. So 3.175 millimeters. 3.175 is a true 1/8 inch, okay? So all of these are 1/8 inch end mills. See, they're fluted, or spiral as they call it. So I got a set of those, so that'll be basically my roughing for something small. Now I do have some smaller ones, but I'm just covering them as I go, okay? So next on the agenda will be the spiral cut. These are 1/8 inch, so it goes from 8th, you're going right to left, sorry. It goes 8th down to, what is in the middle there? 3/30 seconds to 16th. Okay, so it looks like 2 of them are 4 are 8th, and then we have 2 that are 3/30 seconds. Then we have 2 that are true 16th. I'm trying to zoom in, guys. It's just not very nice today. And then we have 2 16th inch cuts. Okay. Now these are 1/8 inch shafts. So I did order this Amana collet adapter. Let's call it that. It's not wanting to focus today. We're just all over the place. There we go. Now this collet is to go from, can we zoom in on it? Man, LED lights actually messed me up in here. Let's try. We've got some light on it. I don't know if it'll help. Oh. Anyway, it turns your collet into, from the same true collet, it's an adapter, but oh, you can almost see it there. Oh, am I gonna lose it? Anyway, it goes from 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch. This is just the adapter, okay? Oh, maybe it says reduction. Yeah, 1/4 to 1/8 inch, and they're calling it a bushing. I'm sorry, I was way off kilter there. There's the barcode if you guys are interested. It says it's made in Israel, so who knows, But Amana has a pretty good history with me anyway. So I up-ordered this just to make sure I had something good. So this, I don't have to change my actual collet out on my router. So, all right, here we go with this set. These are basically the same thing, but these are cross-cut or cross-hatched and they are like, they're square on the end. They're not really, can you see that? There we go, that's a little better. But they're all in the same sizes, 1/8 inch diameter. So we have the 1/8 inch cut, 3/32, 16th. I'm not sure what this one here is. Let's see if they say. Of course not. Now, I don't know this bluing or whatever, anodized, whatever. I don't know if that makes any difference. These were not expensive. I think I'm into them for about $8 a pack, $10 a pack. So, you know, not a lot of hopes here, but low and slow, I think they're going to, you know, see it through. They really look like they're made to push against the material and cut it. Does that make sense? Instead of having flutes or blades, whatever you want to call them, they have this like cross pattern which made to, you know, to tear into the material. So these would be really good for making downbore holes, probably, you know, in my opinion, if you had some really small ones. Okay, so moving on. Next is going to be something totally different, and I've never used this style, and I don't know much about it. So these here are just like a router bit. Okay, I don't know if you can tell. Man, this thing is really, really hard to... Okay, my finger in the way. Now, do you see? They're sort of, they're just like a router bit. You know, and they got blades on the sides. I'm trying not to touch the blades. Okay, so that's true 1/8 inch there. And like I said, you go down 3/32 and you go all the way to, man, I want to say, these are, don't get me lying. I think that's a 16th. They don't look as small as those there that we were comparing. That gold just doesn't like the light. Now these covered ones. This is where you get into, I mean, precision. And everybody may be saying, oh yeah, we've had that for years. Well, it's new to me, so I'm covering it, and I don't know that everybody else knows it either. So we're going to try to do it that way. Let's start with this big boy. These are so dangerous. I don't know here. Can you see that? Now that's like your normal 60 on the end, but you can plunge with it. See, it's tapered. It's like double fluted basically, but I'm trying to keep it on that white background. Anyway, that one right there is crazy. That right there will tear something up. So let's set that one down and go to, I think these are the pointed ones. Yeah, see that right there? It is not. Okay, let's turn that off. It's no better. It's just the reflective material. It's not going to zoom in on it. Huh. Yeah, I just wiped my lens. Well, if you guys, oh, there's a decent shot. You can see how the sides, the way they're cut. That's just killer to me. These are 1/8 inch. So, I thought I had one that was really, really pointed, and I guess not. Unless it's this little one. Oh yeah, it's that one. If I can do this without stabbing myself. That little booger right there is... Oh man, it's so hard to see. I wish... Anyway, sorry for the bad video. But you can tell by my big fat fingers, these things are very precision, very pointed. I don't know. We can put some light on it. I doubt it's going to help. They're so reflective. There we go. You guys see that? Now, still, there again, they're double fluted. But it comes down to, I'd say maybe that's a 15-degree point. I don't know. But very, very precision. So if you had to engrave a name on some aluminum or something, this right here, if you could get it dialed in to touch, it'd be so hard to see, but I think it would work. Speaking of seeing, I did say we got a special project coming up. Now, I'm missing some pieces, so just bear with me. But I'm going to give you a little insight. It's going to have to do with this right here. I don't know if y'all can see the whatever, but anyway, okay. All right, I'm gonna cut this off and I'll get back with you. All right, we're back and we're about 10 minutes in on this cut. The more I look at this may be walnut.